we are ready to get going. And again, a really warm welcome to each and every one of you. We're so thankful you're spending time with us. We're about to have a lot of fun going into this really great content in an in-depth way. And so we are going to pop over to slides.
We have Mina here helping to answer questions. We have Gary and Sarah. We have Jaren all in here helping to answer questions. So pop your questions in when they come up, especially related to this presentation. And they can also answer questions for this special promo that we're doing.
And a big thank you to Devin, who's running the show today. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Welcome to Smarter Essential Oil Swaps Live, a 3-part series, and this is part 1. This is the Art of Aroma, choosing the right essential oil substitutions for beautiful blends.
Now, we love creating content, especially our favorite thing is creating essential oil content, and we love teaching to the people who are here live with us. So we would love to know in the comments if you feel as though you're just beginning your journey with essential oils, you're just starting off, you're really just getting your feet wet, pop in a 1 into chat. If you feel like you've been around essential oils, you have an understanding of essential oils and you work with them, you feel like you're more of an intermediate, pop in a 2. And if you are at that expert level, you might have your certification, you are working with oils professionally or on that higher level personal level, pop in a 3. We would love to know where you're coming from. So 1 for beginners, 2 for intermediate, 3 for getting to that expert level. Let us know in the comments.
All right, so we've got 1s, we've got
all kinds of,
and this is coming in 2s.
That just helps us so much as
Yes.
we go through the content together. All right, so here's what you're going to learn in this 3-part series. There's 3 different events, and this is the first event, so welcome. It's all about aromatic notes, how to create beautiful blends, learning how to swap essential oils while keeping your blends smelling absolutely incredible.
Our second presentation is Essential Oil Chemistry Basics, and you'll see as we go through the first presentation why this is an important topic as well. You will discover how understanding chemistry helps you make smarter choices for real transformative results.
And then we're going to look at how to do substitutions and how to blend using plant parts, and that is just such a wonderful heart-forward way to go about blending. So all of the information that we're presenting in this 3-part series is from our aromatherapy certification program, which is one of the highest esteemed programs in the world, and we're just so excited to have you here and to go through this content with you.
By the end of this 3-part series, I know and I'm very confident that you're going to feel really great about making therapeutic blends that really work.
I know. So when you have transformative results with essential oils, often that is because of the heart, the art, and the science of working with essential oils. So we're so glad that you're here.
And I am Karen. I'm a registered nurse, a certified aromatherapist, and educator. And I love creating curriculum. I have done lots of workshops and different courses, including an internal use course that we just did during 2002-04.
Yes. My name is Jenny. Karen's my mom, and I love working. It's very much a family business. I love working with my mom, and we create curriculum together. We present together, and I love teaching so much, and I love connecting people with ideas that are really going to add meaning and add positivity to their lives. I spent a long time teaching high school English in the Washington, D.C. area, and I've now spent even more time teaching aromatherapy education and teaching aromatherapy students here between Aromatics International and Aroma Head, and I'm just so happy that you're here and we're going to have a good time together.
Jenny brings a sparkle to our courses.
Well, thanks, Mom.
So, and who is Aroma Head? We are an engaging, approachable, educational, online school.
Yes. And I know we have so many Aroma Head students who are here. If you are in our courses over at Aroma Head, just let us know what courses you're in and pop that into the comments. We are just so excited to meet new potential students and to work with students who've been with us for decades. Aroma Head started in 1998 in a small barn in upstate Ithaca, New York, and just teaching maybe 5, 10 students at a time. And now we literally have thousands and thousands of students all over the world who are out there doing groundbreaking work with aromatherapy.
we like to make our teachings very approachable, meaning that it's easy to understand.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so let's go to our diffuser blend. We love when we do events like this, we love to have a diffuser blend at the very beginning. Number one, it's just so much fun to just work with oils right away. And it's also a way for us to usher in this spirit of learning and to really just send that through the camera to you and into all of our lives as a way to unify us during this event.
Here's what we'll be blending: 5 drops of sweet orange, 3 drops of black spruce, and 2 drops of vetiver. Now, this recipe is going to kind of continue with us all through this presentation. So let's come back to camera.
There we go.
And we're going to put this together. Every diffuser is different. This is a glass diffuser and it uses tap water. So there's a little fill line right here, and I'm just going to make sure I stay under that fill line. And I'm going to add our essential oils. 5 drops of sweet orange.
I absolutely love this blend. And as a reminder, you are getting all 3 of these oils in our promotion that we talked about at the beginning of our time together, and we'll review it at the end.
3 drops of our black spruce. And you're going to find out more about these oils as we go through. And 2 drops of vetiver. Now, vetiver is a little bit thicker, so it might take just a minute for this to come out.
And this blend we formulated very intentionally to then, throughout each presentation, each day, look at this blend through the lens of aromatic note, and then chemical component, and then plant part. And so we're going to be revisiting this blend throughout this 3-part series. And I love that you're seeing live action aromatherapy blending. Vetiver can be very resinous.
It is. You can see on the little dropper cap, I don't know if you can see it, it's a very thick oil, and it easily can clog up that little dropper.
Yes.
So very carefully, I'm going to put in 2 drops. 1. See how thick that is
It's
compared
so
to our other oils.
And we'll get into the reasons for that tomorrow during our presentation on chemical components.
For now, though, we're talking about top, middle, and base notes.
Yes.
We have a top note with our sweet orange, a middle note with black spruce, and as you can see, a base note. And what does that mean? We'll get into that.
Yes.
With our vetiver. It came in and was dripping very, very slowly. So now I'm going to set this off to the side.
Yes.
We'll plug that in. And let's continue on.
Can we just pause for a question? This is such a great question from Ann T. Thank you so much for popping this in. Is there a recommended temperature for water when you're working with your diffuser?
That is a great question. And every diffuser is different. So look at your instructions on the diffuser. Some diffusers just say tap water. Some use distilled water, and it's really important to follow those guidelines. Some diffusers will say this works better with warm water versus really cold water. So for most diffusers, I would say go ahead and use tepid type water, not ice cold, not hot, but just kind of a nice warm temperature.
We have so many discussion threads popping over in our Natural Living Club, and one discussion thread that we've been just having fun within is the temperature of our essential oils and the best way to what the best temperature to keep our essential oils at, which is about 75 degrees, and we'll get into that more during our presentations.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go back to our slides.
Okay.
And we'll continue on to the next slide. So today is the first presentation, the Art of Aroma, choosing the right essential oil substitutions for beautiful blends. Today is all about the aromatic notes, how they impact your blend, how to make substitutions on that, and keeping your blend smelling incredible. Our next presentation, our second one, is about the chemistry connection and how to more confidently substitute essential oils for safe, effective blends by looking at the chemistry. Our third and last presentation is called Root to Leaf, and we'll be looking at choosing essential oil substitutes by plant part.
And we would love to know too, is there an event out of these 3 that you're most excited about? Are you most excited about aroma or chemistry, or you can pop in root into chat? Are you most excited about one of these in particular. Again, it's just so much fun for us to know what you love and what you're into. So pop that into the chat as well. All right, are we ready to keep going?
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
So connecting our aroma to emotional well-being, essential oils are fantastic for helping with our emotional beings. Blending is about creating that pleasant aroma. It's about how the scent influences our emotions and well-being. So today we're going to be exploring this particular structure, the immediate and uplifting top note, which was our sweet orange, our soothing and harmonizing middle note, which was our black spruce, and our deeply grounding and calming base notes. We'll explore smart substitutions by looking at the notes so that you can adapt any blend that you come across based on what you have on hand.
Yes. And anytime you walk into a space and there's fresh cookies in the oven or someone is making fresh bread, you know that power of aroma already with the ability to just calm our senses. And so when we're able to take that same approach to different aromas in plant medicine with essential oils, you're really taking and harnessing that beautiful aroma into helping transform your health.
One of the top questions that we get is, how can I make my blend smell good?
Yep. And there's an art to that. It doesn't just happen.
And that is why working with essential oils we call it the science and art of essential oils.
Absolutely. You can make the most incredible therapeutic blend that's going to get a job done, but if it doesn't smell good, then chances are you or the person you're blending for isn't going to use that blend.
Thank you for popping your answers in there. That really helps us out. A lot of you are excited about all three of them. Some of you are, well, maybe the aroma, maybe the chemistry, but really all three of them.
It's just so fun to see what folks are drawn to. So thank you.
So what makes a blend beautiful and balanced? Okay, well, one of the keys is that the blend will unfold over time. Your aromas that you put together today might smell a little bit different tomorrow. It is much like a piece of music or a well-designed fragrance. And the key to this is our aromatic notes. So that top note that catches your attention first, as you pick up your blend and smell it, you might smell that sweet orange first. Or that middle note that adds that heart and that harmony. So as you're taking a whiff of your blend, you'll smell that sweet orange, then suddenly comes that layered black spruce, and then lastly comes through the base note, which provides that depth and that longevity. So it's really helpful to keep our blends cohesive, effective, and emotionally engaging when we try to balance them with the top, middle, and base notes.
So expert level aromatherapists create blends that are not only transformative for our minds, our bodies, and our spirits, but also smell amazing. Because like we just mentioned, if you don't love the aroma of your blend, the synergy of that, you're less likely to use it. So as much as possible, and it's not always possible. Sometimes we're doing emergent blending. We're in the moment. We have wound care. We've got all different kinds of things that need to be addressed right away. And we're not able to sit there and create the most pleasing aroma aromatically. But when you can do that, you're going to have even better results. So as much as possible, we like to blend using a balance of that top, middle, base, and base notes.
And the reason why we say that is because sometimes a top note can creep over into the middle notes.
Yep.
And it might be more of a middle note, but does have some top notes in it as well. Or it might be straight on a middle note, or maybe it's a base note that can be either a middle or a base and gravitate kind of in between.
So it's really good to work with batch-specific essential oils so you're able to really determine what that specific bottle of oil is.
So let's go into a little bit more of the top, middle, and base notes. Okay, here's the blend that we made. We had our sweet orange, our black spruce, and vetiver. We had 5 drops of sweet orange, which is a little bit more than our others. If I were to put 5 drops of vetiver, vetiver would take over the entire blend. So usually on the base note, that's why we have a little bit less of the middle note, and that top note just a little bit more. How do we know which oils are top notes, middle notes, or base notes? Now, this is the exciting part, and in our next presentation, you're going to find out, looking at the chemistry, why we tag ones as middle, top, or base. Because each essential oil belongs to a specific chemical family, and this family will help us to know, as aromatherapists, is this a top note, a middle note, or a base note? And when we understand this, it really makes our blending so much more applicable. It's fun to blend this way, and we have a beautifully balanced blend. Understanding aromatic notes. Okay, let's do a little review here, plus add in some new information.
And I love this comment. I have my eye over on chat, and one amazing attendee said, "Oh, the aromatic note blooms with time." Great tip, and it really does.
It does. It really does.
Yep.
So the essential oils are categorized. The notes, the top, middle, base, are about their evaporation rate. It's about their aromatic weight. So the top notes, which is our first impression, light, fresh, it evaporates quickly, usually within 15 to 30 minutes. And we find them mostly in citrus oils and in some herbal oils. Our middle notes, which is kind of the heart of the blend, that provides the balance, the body. It kind of reaches towards the top notes, it reaches towards the base notes, and it's the balancing factor. And usually it will evaporate in 1 to 2 hours. We find these a lot in our floral oils, also our herbal oils, and some of our spicy oils. Our base notes now come along and they say, I'm going to add that depth and that longevity. They're deep, they're grounding, and they last a long time. They evaporate, their aroma evaporates very slowly, several hours to even days, found mostly in our woods, our resins, and our deep florals.
So this is where matching substitutions by aromatic note keeps the blend harmonious and ensures it unfolds beautifully.
Let's look at top notes. The light, the volatile, our fastest evaporation. Now, many of us love the top notes, and I am one of them. I love the citrus oils. And sometimes I think it's because they don't grow here in our part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes it a top note? Number one, it's that fast evaporation rate, which is tied to the chemistry of the oil. Noticeable within that first 15 to 13 minutes. Now, it's composed mostly of monoterpenes. That's a chemical family. And you're going to learn more about that in our next presentation. But remember that word, monoterpenes, the chemical family, which have small, they're light molecules, and they evaporate quickly. And I love how we can go to science and see what makes the top note.
I love that. And layering in the energetics of the plant part as well, and bringing in just that full, well-rounded picture of why you choose which oil in which moment to really get the results you're looking for with your oils. When you're asking the right oil to show up in the right moment, that's when you get your results.
That's right.
If you're not, then you're not going to get as good of results.
Now, the top notes, the monoterpenes, which I'm going to say a word, apinine is a component in the monoterpene family. D-limonene is a component in the monoterpene family that we find a lot in our citrus oils. So this is what makes them. They're fresh, they're uplifting, they're energizing, and I would say all citrus oils fall in that category, and most of our herbal oils do too. So why this matters for our substitutions is when we're trying to swap out that top note, we can choose another light and easy fast evaporation for our essential oil to maintain that balance of our blend. Now, here's some examples of our top notes. Bergamot, which is, now all the citruses have their own aromatic profile, even though they're all very fresh and they're all very uplifting, they still have their own profiles. Bergamot, which looks like a lime, but it's not a lime, it's much different. It's citrusy, it's floral, and it has a slightly spicy aroma. The grapefruit, it's light, it's fresh, it's tangy. Just imagine cutting into that grapefruit. That is what grapefruit essential oil smells like. And then we come to our lemon, which is bright, sharp, and very citrusy. Our lime is also very bright, but then we have that crispness to lime, a fruity aroma. We come to mandarin, which is sweet but more soft, still that fruity. And sweet orange is sweet, fruity, uplifting, and I would say more soft as well.
And this is where it's really important. It's always important. But if you see, we've got the common name, bergamot, and then we've got in parentheses and italicized, we have the Latin name. So it's really important to, when you're working with oils, to make sure you know your Latin names so that you're really working with the oil you think you're working with.
Exactly.
Now, from this slide, these particular citrus oils, do you have a favorite? I know we all have our favorites when it comes to citruses. We would love to know in the chat what your favorite citrus oil might be. And mine changes all the time. I did an interview with one of our students who is just really creating, and Emiliano, I think you're here. Emiliano and I did an interview yesterday, and he is just a pioneer when it comes to aromatherapy down in South America right now. And we had so much fun talking about what he's doing, what he's up to. And we were talking about our favorite oils. And right now I'm just so drawn to lime. I don't know about you.
Well, I am always drawn to lime. I'm always drawn to sweet orange. And sometimes I just can't get enough of the bergamot. I love all of the citruses, and I'll sometimes blend them together.
Now, one thing about citruses, and we're going to get into this later in our presentation, is that some citruses can be phototoxic. And so we're going to get into what that means and how to work with our citruses really safely and effectively. And this comes into play when we look at substitutions.
So when we make substitutions, okay, we are swapping out different notes. So when swapping a middle note, we choose another oil with a medium evaporation note to keep that scent profile well balanced. There's easy ways to see this, which we're going to see in our second and third presentations. So when we look at a middle note, they are very balanced, they're very complex. So just think of lavender oil, lavandula angustifolia. When you smell that, there are so many different scents that come through, different layered aromas. Their evaporation rate lasts 30 minutes up to 2 hours, mostly made up of esters, different alcohols like monoterpenols, some ketones, giving them that longer lasting aroma, which also gives them a longer shelf life as well. It's the heart of the blend, and it balances that top and that base note, brings it all together. Here's some examples of middle notes. And of course, there's many more than this, but these are just examples.
And someone in the chat asked, what's an example of an herbal essential oil? And that would be coriander, or something that comes from distilled from an herb.
That's right. Coriander definitely is from that herb. We have cardamom, which is distilled from a seed. It's warm, it's spicy, it's slightly sweet. It's a spice. Roman chamomile is a flower. It's warm, it's honey-like, it's very calming. And then coriander, that is distilled from the seed of the plant. It's a soft, herbaceous, slightly citrusy. Then we have a floral from geranium. Geranium is actually, it smells floral, but it's actually distilled from the leaves. And it's sweet, it's rosy, and slightly green. Then we come to our lavender, our lavandula angustifolia, because there's different lavenders. It's floral, it's herbal, it's calming. And ylang ylang is a flower, and it's very exotic, it's very floral. It can be very deep as well. It can kind of gravitate to that middle base note kind of.
And we'd love to know in chat, based on the oils we have here, that are middle notes, do you have an oil that you're particularly drawn to or one you would like to learn more about? Maybe it's geranium, maybe it's that lavandula angustifolia, maybe it's ylang ylang. Let us know in chat.
Now let's look at the base notes. These are the deep, grounding, the longest lasting, the slowest evaporation, and the longest of the shelf lives. In fact, when we look at some of the base notes like sandalwood, patchouli, vetiver, the longer they have been distilled, the longer it has been, especially in patchouli, there's people love to get patchouli that is 20 years old.
Right.
It has a very beautiful, well-rounded, sweet, deep aroma. So why this matters is because when we want that heavy base note to a blend, and many times I'll be blending and I'll think it's just missing that grounding note there. I'll put a little bit of one of the base notes in and it just brings it all together. And here's some examples of the base notes. Our cedar woods. Okay, one of them is cedarwood atlas, Cedrus atlantica. There's other cedar woods too that we could have popped in here. This is just a representation of the cedar woods. There's cedarwood deodora as well. Frankincense. Now, frankincense can either be a top, middle, or base note. A lot of the resins can be very deep and grounding. It just depends on the chemistry of a particular frankincense. There's myrrh that is warm. It's kind of smoky and balsamic. And it's just as we poured the vetiver, myrrh pours out like our vetiver. It's a very resinous, it's a very sticky oil. We have patchouli that is deep and musky and sweet. And Peru balsam brings that warm, rich, kind of a vanilla-like aroma, very deep aromas. Sandalwood, warm, woody, a little bit creamy in there, depending on which country it comes from. And then our vetiver that's earthy, smoky, and rich. So looking at this, at just the descriptions, maybe I don't want the smoky aroma of vetiver. I might have put sandalwood in, or maybe I could have put patchouli in, or cedarwood atlas. I can look at this list and I can start substituting now that base note.
And I just am loving all of the oils that are coming into chat, all of your favorite oils. And this is just another, it's just so affirming that we all are so unique and we're all drawn to different aromas. And that's why it's so nice to have such a wide variety of options to choose from. Because when you're blending for someone, you really want that aroma to resonate and to really you want them to love that aroma.
Right.
And there's options when it comes to using different base notes. So just based on all of your comments over in chat, I just see so many different just different ways to blend for individuals and keeping their preferences in mind.
Now, most of the base notes are sesquiterpenols, that's the chemical family, and sesquiterpenes versus that monoterpenes. Remember the monoterpenes, which we'll get into in our next presentation, they're light, they're airy, they evaporate quickly. The sesquiterpenes, which these oils represent, are deep, long-lasting, longer shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
So this brings us to our smarter substitutions, okay? So we're looking at the aromatic note, the top, the middle, and the base note to bring that balance in, to work its magic and to fulfill its intended purpose. So as we look at these oils, there's other things to take into consideration when we're wanting a therapeutic blend, and that is that chemical component that we'll be looking at next time. So why would I choose a sandalwood over a patchouli or a cedarwood over a vetiver? All depends on the purpose of the blend.
Absolutely.
So looking deeper, when we blend by aromatic note, this is actually a key part of our aromatherapy certification program. Okay, we get into that as we go through the program. Once students understand the chemistry, we start looking into the plant part. We start looking into the top, middle, and base notes. And we kind of go through that all the way through the program. And that's how we learn to make substitutions by plant part, by chemistry, by note. And this course, and of course the ACP course is our flagship course of the Aroma Head Institute. And we just have to talk about it because it's such a beautiful, deep, rich course.
Shall we pop in and take a look?
Let's do that in just a little bit here. I want to finish this concept
I
and then
love
let's
that.
take it.
I love that.
So, safety first in essential oil substitutions, okay? We have our different citruses, our different top notes. And remember our blend, it was sweet orange. Oh, this is a new blend actually. This is our blend that we're doing specifically for anxiety. Okay, I sat down and thought, this is the blend that I want to help soothe those often out of control emotions, if that should be. 6 drops of sweet orange. And remember, we talked about how sweet orange was a little bit softer than maybe lime, bringing down the emotions just a little bit. 3 drops of our Palmarosa, which is our middle note. And now we have Palo Santo, which is a bass note. Beautiful for anxiety. Okay, so we have this beautiful blend and we go to blend it and we don't have sweet orange. And we're like, oh my goodness, I was really looking forward to this blend. What can I do? This is a gorgeous blend. I know it. I've made it before, but I used the last of my sweet orange. Okay, so let's walk through some possibilities together. We have safety to look at. And Jenny mentioned this earlier on that we need to remember that a lot of our top note oils do have phototoxic
Concerns.
safety concerns. And
Mhm.
we're going to get into that just a little bit. Some essential citrus oils specifically, their top notes, they maintain that aromatic balance of the blend, but there's some general guidelines to using citrus oils. And when I go to substitute, now here's a nice little chart. So our cold pressed essential oils of our citruses, okay? Everybody, I saw so many people who loved bergamot.
Mhm.
Bergamot is their favorite, their go-to. When I use bergamot in a blend, in a 1 ounce, 30 mils of carrier, this is what the guidelines refer to, I would use 2 drops, okay? It is 2.4 drops. So you can see if I were to do 4 ounces, I could use 2, 4, 6, 8, and then that 4. So I could actually put another drop in, 9 drops. But for 1 ounce, only 2 drops because you can't get 2.4 drops, right? So only 2 drops. Now, a bitter orange is also phototoxic. I would only use 7.5 drops in a blend. And grapefruit, I can use a whopping 24 drops, which I would never use that much in 1 ounce. You know, that's a lot of grapefruit, but you could use up to that much. Lemon, 7.5 drops, and lime is 4 drops. Now notice, steam distilled lime is not phototoxic. Sweet orange, whether it's cold pressed or steam distilled, and it's usually cold pressed, is not phototoxic, and neither is mandarin. It's not phototoxic.
And just to add even more clarity, if this is a new concept for you, what we mean by phototoxic is if you put this oil in a carrier, like jojoba, lotion, something like that, and put it on your skin and walk out into the sun, if it is above the recommended safety guidelines, you are in danger of having a chemical burn on your skin. And it's
Mm-hmm.
no fun. And we have talked to so many people who've experienced this, and it can go from just slight irritation to really bad blistering. So it's
Right.
really important to keep this in mind.
And it almost always will create a dark spot on the skin that does take a long time to go away. But the blisters, if you've ever seen a really bad burn that blisters up, you know you never want to experience that. Now, let's when we look at these cold pressed oils that are phototoxic, it's cumulative, which means that if I used 2 drops of bergamot in my blend, I don't have any room for any other phototoxic oils. I cannot put any other phototoxic oils in. If I'm just using grapefruit and it's clear up to 24 drops, I can easily put in another one except for bergamot, unless I use just 1 drop of bergamot. Now, this gets a little bit confusing. So, just recently, in the last few months in our ACP program, there is a calculator in there that helps to calculate this. And we're going to show that to you in just a little bit.
It's wonderful. And something I just treasure about our certification program is since we created it and developed it in the 90s, we've been adding to it and enriching it every single year. And this is one of my very favorite new features, which is this calculator. And we're gonna show it to you in just a minute.
So let's look at some possibilities. So some substitutions, okay? We're looking at sweet orange. We have our Palmarosa and Palo Santo. We've looked at safety, and now let's look and see what some ideas are. Since this blend is a topical blend, we have it in a carrier, which means it's a topical blend. We're going to apply it to the skin. Now we know we have to be concerned about safety. And in this case, we're just talking about the phototoxic oils. So the only phototoxic citrus oil safe below our 6 drops is bergamot, and the safe number for bergamot is 2 drops. So here are some options. So we can use mandarin, which is very much like our sweet orange in terms of the energetic qualities to it. It's bright, it's sweet, but it's also kind of calming, just like sweet orange is. Now our steam distilled, if I want to create a more energetic blend, a more energizing blend, I could easily put our steam distilled lime in here. Now maybe I do want that bergamot. I want those 2 drops of bergamot. Go ahead and put your 2 drops of bergamot in as a substitution, but then choose another citrus oil that isn't phototoxic like our mandarin, our 4 drops of mandarin. Or you could say, I want to use 4 drops of lemon and 2 drops of my distilled lime. Okay, so now we have a very balanced blend that is also very safe for the skin. Now, this might be a great time to jump in and show them that calculator since we're right here in that.
It's the time to do that. So let me go over here to my aromatherapy certification program. Let's go to camera for a while, Devin, and I'm gonna pull that
I
up.
was just gonna say, I'm gonna look at your comments really quick here. I haven't had time.
We've got so many folks who are popping in different comments and reactions to this. If you could put into the chat, what is one aha moment for you? If you've learned something new, pop that into the chat. Or if you have a question, this is a great time to pop that in.
I want to just address Lisa's comment here. I like to put bergamot in inhalers, and bergamot is so perfect for inhalers, for diffuser blends, because you're not putting it on topically. And when you're not applying topically, you don't have to worry about the phototoxic effects. So, by the way, one of the things that caused them to start studying the furanocoumarins, which is the component, one of the components responsible for phototoxicity in our citrus oils, is those who were working on the beaches and they were making exotic tropical drinks.
Yes.
And they were squeezing those limes into that drink, and then they would go out and play on the beach for a while. They would get severe burns on their hands. So they started studying this and discovered about the phototoxicity issue.
Mm-hmm.
So thank goodness they did that, because they used to put a lot of bergamot in suntan lotion even. Okay, sunscreen lotion, they had bergamot in there. Can you imagine? So thankfully we know better than to do that. Any of these calming oils, you know, we have so much on pregnancy in our natural living course, as well as our aromatherapy certification program. My daughter-in-law, when she had her first baby, spurred us on to really break out that section in our programs. So there's a lot of information in those programs on that, because it is good to remember about safety during pregnancy and what you can use during labor and delivery.
And someone asked about the purity and how to tell if you're working with a pure essential oil. And I love that question so much. And it really comes down to relationships and science. Both are very important when verifying that you have a pure essential oil that you're working with. So it really comes down to small batch essential oil distillation, which is crucial to having a pure essential oil. And when you have a small batch, that just means working with, for example, let's take lemon. Working with a lemon distiller who goes out there, distills lemon at a certain time of year, and then you're working with a bottle of oil from that specific batch of lemon that's been GCMS tested, and we'll go through what that is tomorrow in our event on chemistry. But essentially, it's a test we run that shows what chemical components are in that oil, making sure there's no adulterations or synthetic anything, that it's a pure, vibrant, beautiful oil. And that is an important piece to working with oils that are pure. If you're working with oils that you don't know the batch or you don't have a GCMS report, chances are it's lemon oil that's from all over the world, put all together in one bottle of oil. Now, with the citruses specifically, it's really important to keep track of shelf life, which is a 1 to 2 year shelf life. So when you're working with a bottle of lemon oil from all over the world, you have no idea when it was distilled. So it's really important to keep track of that as well.
And that's another clue too, is a lot of people, and even people that sometimes I will purchase oils from, they'll say, oh, it's good until this date. And I'll say, well, what was the distillation date though?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, well, we don't know, but it's good till this date. And that's just not good enough for me. I need to know when that oil was distilled or cold pressed, because that will affect the shelf life, because there's people who are selling oils might have their own idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've seen people say, oh yeah, you know, the sweet orange, it's got a long shelf life, don't worry about it. But when you're selling essential oils to the public, you have to know this information. And I feel like you, as consumers, need to know the information of when it was distilled or cold pressed.
It's so critical to having a vibrant oil, and it's just like any product in your kitchen. You want fresh, vibrant ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
You want fresh, vibrant oils within the recommended shelf life that are pure, not adulterated, not synthetic, organically crafted. And that is when you're going to get really amazing results with your oils.
Right. And you mentioned GCMS reports, which we'll show you one tomorrow. But when you use an oil that is oxidized or beyond its shelf life, you start getting some skin issues and even some sensitivity, which means if I use an old sweet orange, for instance, with just a 1 to 2 year shelf life, and it's sitting there for 4 or 5 years, and I finally use it again, and it develops a skin rash on there, it's possible I'll never be able to use that sweet orange again,
Mm-hmm.
of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be safe with your oils, and that wasn't part of what I'm showing them, but that is very important information.
It's so important. And Karen, through Aromatics International, works with distillers in over 60 different countries. And so she's personally chatting with them, verifying, creating those relationships, which is so amazing, because she'll be the first one they call when they have a fresh batch of something or something is coming in that they're really excited about. And it's those relationships that really make the difference when it comes to ensuring quality products.
Well, the Aroma Head Institute really was one of the first schools that started talking about the chemical components, the shelf lives, the importance of all of this. And even when I work with, which has spurred others into getting the GCMS reports and getting the distillation dates, etc. But one of the other things that when I work with distillers all over the country is I'll have some countries will have somebody who's organizing the different farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And the different farmers will bring they have their plant material, they set them up with stills so they can distill their essential oil, and then they bring it together. And they'll sell that essential oil for them because they don't have the opportunity to know how to even sell it to the public. And one of the beautiful things about GCMS reports is, yes, I trust the farmer, I trust that distiller, but they haven't realized that if they store it in plastic, it will develop phthalates in that oil. And you and I do not want to use oils that have even a small little fraction of phthalates in it. And those GCMS reports show that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really exciting. And then I have been able to come back to the main distiller and say, hey, one of your farmers is storing in plastic and it's showing in phthalates. And of course, I cannot sell that oil. So I'm happy to keep supporting you, but what can we do to get them to not use the plastic anymore? and it's really been quite successful.
Yes. And I love that. And it's all about, again, building up local communities all over the world and partnering with and finding those vibrant partnerships. A question about that GCMS report: any reputable essential oil company should be able to give you a GCMS report for a batch specific oil. And over through aromatics, we have, of course, all of the GCMS reports for each batch available. And in our certification program at Aroma Head, we study 48 different essential oils, and we have all of that information that you would want to know about the oils on our data sheets for each oil, which is an incredible tool when you're looking to blend and get those expert level results from your essential oils.
I see you pulled up a data sheet.
I have.
Let's talk about this data sheet. Data sheets we have in many of our programs, and this particular data sheet is from our aromatherapy certification program. Now, this is years worth of information and research all in one place, and I access these data sheets all the time.
Yes.
I love how, and it's important for us to know, like you just learned, what's the extraction method? This is cold pressed. Okay, well, if this was lime, this would be a big deal for me because I would not want to use any more than 4 drops of cold pressed lime in 1 ounce of carrier. So we have a little blending idea, and then we talked about how the essential oils are so amazing for emotional qualities. And as we see on the sweet orange, it's very good for unblocking and circulating stagnant energy. It soothes that perfectionist who can't tolerate mistakes. It calms tension. Now we see this in the physical attributes as well because sweet orange is very good at calming spasms. So think of a tight emotional process, a tight thought, a tight, I'm just angry and upset. Sweet orange helps to dissipate that, calm that down, just like it calms a muscle down or a tight digestive system down. That's why it's really great for this irritable bowel syndrome. And then there's some really good research on sweet orange and the different components that are in them, especially that D-limonene, which is a monoterpene. Okay, monoterpene is the family, D-limonene is a component in that family.
So many people love our certification program because it confirms what they are intuitively drawn to about the essential oil. A lot of folks are drawn to the citruses because of the emotional, energetic properties, and then the research and the science confirms that that intuition was absolutely right. And then you're able to really ground your rationale for the reasons you're using different oils and different blends because of the science and the research.
That's right. Now, these are kind of words that we have definitions for in the course, but analgesic means great for pain, and then we go on down. Antispasmodic, which means releasing tightness. Antiviral, this is where colds and flus come from, it's from a virus, and it stimulates the immune system. It supports the liver, it's a liver protector, and it's a sedative. Now, most of our citruses are very energizing, and this is why that mandarin was a good substitute for sweet oranges because they're both on the sedative spectrum when it comes to our citrus oils. Mood and cognition, I would use it in clinical application means how would I use this? Skincare, muscles, and moods, and then a ton of references that go through that. And I appreciate you showing that. I just wanted to show them quickly that calculator.
As a reminder, anyone in any of our courses, you have lifelong access. You can use the courses as you would a library, or you can go through and become certified and finish each course. Many people come to our programs for different reasons, and we want to show you this really amazing down here.
It's up right under the quick start orientation. Go to phototoxicity safety calculator. There's also one for a mobile device on here. But if you're an ACP student and you haven't been in your course for a while, you're in for a really great surprise here.
And this is in your class right now, and you can start using it.
Now, Mina and I went over and over this many, many times, but it gives us our maximum percentage, like bergamot was 0.4%. Now, if I were to put bergamot in here, 2 drops of bergamot, my blend is safe.
And it says that down at the bottom, safe. Your blend is within safe limits. Total used 83.33%.
Well, maybe I want to put some grapefruit in there.
Yes.
I want to put 5 drops in. Well, we know that 2 drops is all I can do in 1 ounce of carrier. And you can choose different amounts of your carrier here. And it says, your blend exceeds the total safe phototoxic limit. Okay, I'm at 104.71%. So even if I were to put 2 drops of grapefruit in here, that suddenly gives me 91.67%. Okay, 3 drops of grapefruit in there, I'm still doing okay because there's 24 drops allowed in here, so I can put a little bit in there. When I start getting up to 4, let me refresh this because it's not quite doing what I want it to do. So if I have 2 drops of bergamot in here and I put 4 drops of grapefruit in, I'm at 100%. I can't put any more in there of any other phototoxic drops that are on this list here. And I even have angelica root. That's a root oil. It also is phototoxic. So isn't that cool?
It is so cool. And phototoxic oils, it's again the combined number of drops in a blend you need to make sure you're calculating. And so we wanted to create, and Karen developed and created and put this tool in to the certification program just to add extra clarity around this. And so we wanted to make sure that you know about it.
All right. Are we ready to go back to our slides?
Let's go back to our slides. I'm going to go full screen here. And let's keep going. We just thought that was so cool. We wanted to share it with you.
So the professional approach to blending, we've touched on how there are many factors that go into that professional level approach to the art and science of blending with essential oils. And when I say professional level approach, I'm not just talking about somebody who's using them as a profession or using them in a profession like a massage therapist. I consider anyone a professional level, even if they're using them at home for themselves and their family.
Absolutely.
So the aromatic note is just one piece of that puzzle when it comes to crafting blends that create those great results. When you understand this art and the science of blending, including next presentation of the essential oil chemistry and the following one about plant part, you're going to have a really strong foundation for creating those blends that really come alive and do what you intended them to do.
I love that. So coming up tomorrow, the Chemistry Connection, April 11, same time, same place, how to more confidently substitute essential oils for safe, effective blends, looking at that chemistry piece. So this was an introduction into how to blend and make substitutions by aromatic note. Tomorrow, April 11, all about the chemistry connection. And then April 12, Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, we'll be looking at how to substitute and how to blend by plant part. Now, as a reminder, all of this information is coming from our aromatherapy certification program, and we've put together a really special Q&A event on that program. And if you are really resonating with this information and you are thinking, I want to know even more, you definitely want to attend that event and learn about our aromatherapy certification program and how it can really impact your life and blending when it comes to really harnessing the power of plant medicine with essential oils. So we have an event for you. It's a Q&A event to come and learn even more about the program. It's April 26th, and we're going to have so much fun with folks who are interested in potentially becoming certified and why it's important to be certified. So we've got a link for you to enroll in that right below where you're watching. It's also, if you go to aromahead.com/open, that's where you can save your seat for that event. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
And that's another free event, just so that you can learn more about it, learn what it's, if it's applicable to you, learn what it's going to provide for you.
We, again, have thousands of students who've gone through this program, and it just really creates a solid foundation for working with the oils confidently effectively and safely. A lot of folks have opened up brand new careers by becoming a certified aromatherapist. Others are really struggling with a personal health issue, and going through this program has helped them solve that issue. And so, whatever you might be drawn to when it comes to getting that expert level knowledge, this is the perfect event for you. April 26th. Make sure that you save your seat so that we know you're coming and we can encourage you along the way. So again, go to aromahead.com/open and we would love to tell you more about the program.
So we have some questions on this kit that I see as we went through, and I know we were going to talk about it again at the end here, but this is a $75 free little kit. This is a little blending kit that has different plant parts, different notes. We have our sweet orange, that is our top note. We have eucalyptus globulus, which is our middle note. Black spruce is also a middle note. Frankincense can be a middle note, it can be a base note. Vetiver is definitely all base notes. So these are 5 different essential oils in 5 ml bottles. This is a 15 ml bottle.
It's actually 18 mils.
Well,
but yes, I don't want to.
This is an 18 ml bottle. It's correct. This has over 300 drops in it.
Yes.
5 ml bottles have 100 drops in it, and that goes a long ways. Now, we had fun putting this little kit together and talking about it and deciding how we were going to do this. And as part of you being here, you have a special code when you order out of aromatics.com, Aromatics International, and many of you are familiar with that.
And that's the oils Karen personally sources all over the world.
You would use the code SWAPS, SWAPS, and that will give you 20% off of your order. Now, if your order is over $50, which includes that discount, so once you have put the discount in, it needs to be at least $50 before, after that discount, then you automatically will get this free gift. If you use that code SWAPS, this free $75 gift of these oils.
I know.
Isn't that fun?
It's so fun. And we wanted to do this special promotion for everyone attending this Smarter Swap series as a thank you. So I'm over here. Let's hop over to my computer. I'm at the aromatics.com website. And I'm going to go to so this discount code is good on everything on our website except for kits and bundles. So let's go over to Shop Now, Pure Essential Oils. Just for fun, I'm going to find an oil right away that will get me over that particular threshold. So let's go over here and I want to go to
jasmine.
I was just going to say, let's do jasmine. Jasmine essential oil. There we go. That's what I want. I'm going to add jasmine into my cart. Perfect. Then I'm going to go to checkout. This is how you use your code. I'm going to put in SWAPS. And this will give me my 20% off. And now I've met the requirement. I'm over $50. And so it shows that my Smarter Swaps bundle will automatically be added into my order. And that's how you claim this particular promotion.
Yes, so be sure and use SWAPS.
Yes, SWAPS, and that's going to be your ticket to getting this particular bundle, which is again a $75 value. We're saying thank you for being here and being a part of this incredible 3-part series with us. And again, you can use these oils to blend the way we've been introducing you to blending, looking at aromatic note, and then tomorrow chemistry, and then plant part. And we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a one-time use code. So make sure you get in there, get everything into your cart, apply your discount of SWAPS, and get our free bundle. And this is good through the event series.
Right. Now, you don't have to order $50 worth of products. You don't have to do that. You can order any amount that you want and still get that 20% discount.
Absolutely. So. This is just an extra thank you for any order over $50.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So let's go back to our slides.
Now we do have let's not go back to our slides just yet.
Not go back. Okay.
We do have 3 giveaways we want to do.
Oh,
Three
Okay.
giveaways. And so your giveaway, if you are here, you are eligible for the giveaway in chat. If you could put in your very favorite thing about our time together in this event, just pop that into the chat, your very favorite thing that you've learned. We'll give you a couple minutes for everyone to enter. And then Mina is going to randomly select three winners who will each be receiving a $50 gift card to Aromatics International. $50 gift card to Aromatics International. So put in your very favorite thing into chat, and Mina will select three lucky winners. And I don't envy you, Mina. That's a hard job to select only three. We want everyone to be a winner.
Now, your gift card, I don't believe you can use it at the same time that you use swaps. Okay, if you could clarify that for me, somebody clarify that that is indeed the
You
truth.
have to choose one or the other.
Choose one or the
Yes.
other, but three of you will have the option to for a $50 gift certificate to purchase something that you haven't had before, or something that you need to refill, or something that you think, oh, I wish I could afford that, but I haven't been able to. Three of you will be able to.
Yes. So while we're waiting for different responses to come in, we are spending about 10 minutes with a Q&A for you. So if you have any specific questions, just pop that into the chat, and then we will be going through and we will be answering any questions that you have. So that's two actions for chat. We never like to tell you to do two things in chat. So you're entering the giveaway by putting in your favorite thing from our presentation today. And then if you have any questions, just pop those in, and we will spend time answering your questions.
I am just that chat, I'm having a hard time seeing it.
It is, we have a screen right to the left of where you're watching us, and we want to, there we go.
Now I can see them a little bit better.
There we go. Thank you so much, Melissa. Loved the detailed information and the report. We love that so much.
Love that they're about the phototoxic, and that there are some non-phototoxic oils.
Yep.
Remember, one of the non-phototoxic oils, or two of them, are distilled lime and sweet orange.
Never phototoxic.
Don't have to worry about phototoxicity with those two.
Yes.
And I very rarely will use a cold pressed lime.
Mm-hmm.
I always use a steam distilled lime because it smells so gorgeous, it's so vibrant, that I don't miss that phototoxicity of that cold pressed lime that has the phototoxicity. Now, I've had some people say, well, you can buy bergamot without the furanocoumarins, and yes, you can do that, but it takes out other therapeutic properties that I like so much in the bergamot. If you wanted to use more in your topical blends, then you could go that route, but for inhalers and diffusers, stick with that cold pressed bergamot.
I love that. And these are all of the nuances. Every single essential oil is just like one of your friends, right? They're unique. They have their own different personality, and they're also in different families and friend groups. And so there's a way to study oils and to classify them. But then you also need to get to know each unique oil just like you would any friend in your life. It's just a good way to spend quality time with every single oil that you're working with, because of the safety, because of all of the nuances that go into really unlocking the true potential of that oil.
So many of you liked that calculator. The calculator is found inside your Aromatherapy for Certification program. Those of you who are in that program, it's in your orientation area. I believe that's where I put it, up in that top area, so that you can easily access that as you go through. And don't forget to join us for our next presentation, as we're going to go like we did today, except we're going to do it on chemistry, how to substitute, looking at chemistry. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be applicable.
Yes, we love chemistry over at the Aroma Head Institute because it gives us a huge vocabulary to talk to both essential oil skeptics and those who are passionate about oils, and really gives solid, well-researched information on why we choose which oils we choose and when, and how to approach blending with science. So remember, it's that heart, It's the art and it's the science of blending, and that's what we love teaching here at the Aroma Head Institute. And those of you who are really interested in this information, you definitely want to attend our Q&A all about our certification program April 26th. And there's a link to enroll in that event. It's a free event. It's a Q&A open house to our certification program. We'll tell you all about it. It's right here at the top of the chat where you're watching, aromahead.com/open. We really encourage you to register for this event while we're here together on chat. And I've been doing different interviews with students this week and last week, and I've been talking with different graduates all over the world. And a big theme that our students and graduates in our certification program are mentioning is that aspect of community. You really do meet your new best friends when it comes to the next chapter of your life. You're going to go through our educational program with folks who love oils as much as you do and love learning about the oils. And we have so many folks who have just made lifelong friendships here inside of our certification program. So if that is at all intriguing to you, please register for this free event, April 26th, and the link is right there at the top.
As Jenny was talking to Chris Pressler yesterday,
she was here. Thank you, Chris.
Gave me a few little tidbits of what they talked about. And one of them was, you'll never find another community like the Aroma Head Institute. And I agree, it is just a beautiful place to be. We have so much free content that we give out, like today.
Yep.
And tomorrow, where you're going to go even deeper into, all right, I like the substitution by base, middle, and top note. But now, what if I want to zero in and select those oils because I want help with a virus that I have, or I want help because I have a painful area that I'm also dealing with? That's where that chemistry comes in.
You know, we have a really fun problem right now. There are so many people here in chat that comments are flying so quickly that our team is having a hard time randomly choosing 3 people. So bear with us. We're still in our Q&A piece. So if you do have questions, don't worry, our 3 winners are coming up. So stick with us. Let us know if you have any questions we can answer for you in the chat. And I see lots of people are registering for our free open house for our certification program. And if that's you, if you are registering, please let us know in the chat by popping in a number 2. We would love that.
All right. So is this the one for April 26th?
Happening April 26th.
Happening on April 26th.
Yep.
We're going to go a little bit deeper even yet and show you around even more into some of our exciting things that we love about our aromatherapy certification program. There's absolutely no obligation. It's just an informative, free session so that you can become more informed and make a decision that maybe you've been teetering on for a while.
Yep. Well, I'm going to write my team right here.
Okay.
So we've got our winners. Thank you so much, everyone who popped in. All of your takeaways from this event. You're all winners, and we're very excited for you to go and claim your free kit valued at $75, over $75 from aromatics.com using code SWAPS, giving you 20% off everything on the website except for kits and bundles. Those are the 2 exclusions. And make sure your order is at least $50, and we'll pop in this free kit as a thank you for that. Look at all these folks who are registering for our open house for our certification program. It's going to be really fun. We want to show you what graduates are out there doing in the world and how they've used this program to really just open up doors they never thought possible. We're very excited to tell you all about the certification program and to welcome you into the program if you feel like it would be an enriching next step for your life, which we really feel it would be. All right, our winners. If I say your name, please email us, team@aromatics.com, and we'll get you your gift card. Kathy McLean, Lorena Smalley, and Christine Lamb are our winners. Congratulations. So Kathy McLean, Lorena Smalley, and Christine Lamb, please email us, team@aromatics.com, and we'll get you your gift card. Thank you so much. That gift card cannot be combined with the promo we're running, but you will be able to use your $50 in the future. So thank you very much for that.
All right. Well, we've kind of done our Q&A.
We have kind of done our Q&A. Thank you. Well, we'll be here same time, same place tomorrow and Saturday looking at how to do thoughtful substitution by chemical component, and then how to do thoughtful substitution by plant part. We're so happy that you're here. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
We'll have giveaways tomorrow too.
I have one last thing. So those of you who don't know, we also have a natural living club over on school, and it's a place where we just reached 1,400 members last night. We're having discussions about all kinds of things when it comes to natural living, and I created a discussion thread to pair with this event. So if you are in our natural living club and you want to come and keep talking about this event, please do. It's pinned to the top of our discussion thread. And if we could put in the link for those of you who want to become a member, it's $1 a month. It's a really wonderful place to get tips and tricks with essential oils and herbs and food recipes. We just did a really in-depth post on wound care and essential oil work. Please come join us over on our school community. It's our Natural Living Club. We've got a link we'll pop in here. Come and join the conversation. And those of you who are already in the community, please come over and jump into the discussion. We're going to have a really fun time today.
We are. I'm just looking at all these comments here.
Yes, we'll pop a link to that community in the chat or the description of this event right below so you can find it as well. And we would love to have you.
I like that. Keep the discussion going.
Keep the discussion going. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll see you all on our next event tomorrow, and we just can't wait to share that information coming.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
All right, we'll see you soon.